First Contact Fury. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the helm of the UES Defiant, her eyes fixed on the massive alien warship that had just emerged from hyperspace. The vessel's crystalline structure gleamed against the backdrop of stars, its surface rippling with energy patterns that defied human understanding. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humanity's first contact with an advanced civilization was meant to be peaceful, controlled, diplomatic. Instead, they got the Nexari Empire. Multiple energy signatures detected, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his voice steady despite the tension. They're powering up weapon systems we've never seen before. Chen's mind raced through the limited options available to her outdated exploration vessel. The Defiant wasn't built for combat. It was a deep space research ship retrofitted with basic defensive capabilities. But it was also humanity's only hope of warning Earth about what was coming. All hands to battle stations, Chen ordered, her voice carrying the weight of 20 years of naval experience. Initiate emergency protocols and begin data collection. Everything we learn here might save Earth. The Nexari ship launched its first attack without warning or declaration. Beams of coherent light, far more advanced than any human laser technology, sliced through space. Chen watched in horror as they passed straight through the Defiant's shields as if they weren't even there. Shields ineffective. The defensive officer shouted. Their weapons operate on principles we can't even detect. But Chen noticed something crucial, something that would later change the course of human history. The Nexari weapons, while incredibly advanced, followed predictable patterns. Their attacks were perfectly calculated, mathematically precise, and utterly lacking in creativity. Execute random evasive pattern Delta 7, Chen commanded, and prepare to implement my next orders, no matter how crazy they sound. The Defiant began a series of erratic maneuvers, its movements defying conventional space combat doctrine. Chen had developed these patterns herself, based on old Earth naval warfare tactics. The Nexari ship's attacks, despite their overwhelming power, started missing more often than not. They can't predict us, Chen realized aloud. Their targeting systems are built around mathematical perfection. They don't understand chaos. The revelation came at a cost. The Defiant's hull was already breached in multiple sections, its crew fighting desperately to contain the damage. But Chen saw an opportunity in their apparent weakness. Engineering, I need everything you've got in the maneuvering thrusters. Tactical, load all remaining kinetic weapons with our sensor probe payload. Captain, Rodriguez questioned, but his hands were already moving to comply. Their shields are calibrated for energy weapons, Chen explained. They've probably never encountered anything as primitive as physical projectiles, and those probes are broadcasting on all frequencies. The Defiant swung around in a maneuver that would have been suicide in any normal combat situation, presenting its broadside to the enemy vessel. The Nexari ship, perhaps sensing victory, moved in for the kill. Fire everything. The kinetic launchers roared to life, sending dozens of sensor probes hurtling toward the alien vessel. As Chen had gambled, the Nexari shields did nothing to stop the physical objects. The probes, broadcasting at full power, passed through their defensive screens and impacted directly against their hull. The effect was devastating. The Nexari ship's energy patterns went haywire as the probe's transmissions interfered with their systems. Their perfect crystalline structure began to show cracks, their weapons falling silent. Emergency jump, Chen ordered. Get us back to Earth. As the Defiant's jump drive engaged, Chen was already composing her report in her mind. Humanity needed to know what they were up against, but more importantly, they needed to understand their own unique advantages. The Nexari's technology was centuries ahead of Earth's, but their rigid, predictable approach to warfare was their weakness. Send all combat data to Fleet Command, she ordered as they emerged from jump space near Earth's defense perimeter. And get me a direct line to Admiral Harrison. Tell him we need to completely rethink how we build our ships. The battle had lasted less than 15 minutes, but its implications would reshape human civilization. As Chen looked at the battle damage assessment, she knew that humanity's survival would depend not on matching the next series technology, but on embracing what made humans unique: their creativity, their unpredictability, and their ability to turn apparent weakness into strength. The age of human battleships was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. Send everything we have on their shield frequencies to Earth's defense grid, Shen ordered as emergency teams rushed to contain the damage to her ship. And get me the best engineers we have. It's time humanity showed the galaxy what we can really do. Project Prometheus. Dr. Maya Patel stood in the massive underground facility beneath the Himalayan mountains, watching as construction drones swarmed around the skeleton of humanity's newest weapon. The UEA's Thunderchild was unlike any vessel ever built, a hybrid of human intuition and artificial intelligence that defied conventional shipbuilding logic. The neural interface testing is complete, her assistant, Dr. James Wilson, reported. The AI core successfully merged with all 5 test pilots' brainwave patterns. Maya nodded, her eyes never leaving the enormous vessel taking shape before them. After Captain Chen's encounter with the Nexari 6 months ago, Earth's military leadership had finally accepted that traditional spacecraft design wouldn't be enough. They needed something revolutionary. Show me the latest simulation results, Maya requested, gesturing to the holographic display. The air filled with data streams showing hundreds of combat scenarios. In each one, the Thunderchild's unconventional design proved devastating against simulated Nexari vessels. The ship's most striking feature was its asymmetrical structure. Unlike the geometrically perfect Nexari ships, the Thunderchild was deliberately irregular. Its hull contained sections that could reconfigure themselves mid-battle, making it impossible for enemy targeting systems to establish a predictable pattern. Admiral Harrison is here for the demonstration, Wilson announced, just as the facility's main doors slid open. The Admiral walked in, accompanied by a familiar face, Captain Sarah Chen, now bearing the scars of her encounter with the Nexari. Her insights had been instrumental in developing the Thunderchild's unique capabilities. Dr. Patel, Harrison greeted, please tell me you have good news. Our long-range sensors detected 3 Nexari fleets entering the outer solar system yesterday. Maya gestured to the prototype. The Thunderchild is ready for its first full power test. Captain Chen, would you like to do the honors? Chen stepped forward, her eyes lighting up at the sight of the vessel. You actually did it. You built a ship that thinks like us. The group moved to the neural interface chamber, where Chen was quickly fitted with the connection apparatus. As the systems powered up, Maya explained the breakthrough to Harrison. Traditional AIs are like the Nexari, logical, predictable, perfect. But we designed the Thunderchild's AI to embrace chaos, to learn from human instinct and creativity. When merged with a human pilot, it creates something entirely new. Chen's consciousness merged with the Thunderchild systems. The massive vessel hummed to life, its irregular sections shifting and flowing like liquid metal. On the diagnostic screens, Maya could see the perfect synthesis of human and machine consciousness. Neural merge stable, Wilson reported. All systems responding. Sir, these readings are beyond anything we projected. Through the ship's external cameras, they watched as the Thunderchild began its first movement tests. Its reactions were impossibly fast, yet undeniably human in their unpredictability. The vessel didn't just move. It flowed, each motion flowing naturally into the next in ways that no conventional targeting system could anticipate. The key was accepting our limitations, Maya explained to Harrison. We couldn't match Nexari technology, so we stopped trying. Instead, we built something that turns our greatest weakness, our imperfection, into our greatest strength. The Thunderchild's weapon systems came online, each one a hybrid of human and AI design. Conventional railguns were guided by intuitive targeting systems that could predict enemy evasions based on human pattern recognition. Energy weapons pulsed with deliberately irregular frequencies that could adapt to enemy shields. "We have 5 more hulls ready for neural integration," Maya continued. "Each one slightly different, each one designed to embrace chaos rather than fight it. The Nexari won't be facing ships. They'll be facing the combined creativity of humanity's best pilots, enhanced by AI that thinks like we do." Harrison watched as Chen put the Thunderchild through a series of maneuvers that should have torn any normal ship apart. "How soon can we begin mass production?" "The orbital shipyards are already being converted," Maya replied. "But there's something else you need to see." She led them to a secure chamber deep within the facility. Inside, hundreds of pilots were already training with neural interface simulators. "The neural link doesn't just let humans control the ships," she explained. "It lets them learn from each other. Every battle, every maneuver, every innovation is shared across the entire fleet. The more we fight, the more unpredictable we become." Chen's voice came through the comm system, filled with excitement. "Sir, request permission to begin weapons testing. I have some ideas I'd like to try." Harrison nodded, a rare smile crossing his face. "Humanity has always been at its best when backed into a corner, Doctor. The Nexari are about to learn that the hard way." As the Thunderchild prepared for its first live-fire exercise, Maya knew they had created something unprecedented in the galaxy's history. The age of perfect, predictable warfare was over. The era of human chaos was about to begin. The Battle of Arcturus. Admiral Marcus Zhang watched from the command deck of the UES Thunderchild as the first wave of Nexari warships emerged from hyperspace. The crystalline vessels filled the viewport, their perfect geometrical formations a stark contrast to the seemingly chaotic arrangement of the human fleet. "All ships, neural synchronization check," he ordered, feeling the familiar tingle as his consciousness merged with both his vessel and the battle network linking all 20 ships of humanity's new Thunder-class fleet. "Sync confirmed." The fleet responded in unison, their voices echoing through the neural link. Each captain was now one with their ship, their collective battle consciousness forming a symphony of controlled chaos that no conventional tactical computer could predict. The Nexari fleet, nearly 50 ships strong, moved with mathematical precision. Their formation was flawless, their approach vectored for maximum tactical advantage, or at least what their computers calculated as maximum advantage. "Remember your training," Zhang broadcast across the neural network. "Don't think like machines. Think like humans. Captain Chen, you have tactical command." Sarah Chen's consciousness rippled through the battle network. She had spent more time fighting the Nexari than anyone, and her experience flowed through the neural link, enriching every captain's understanding of their enemy. "The Nexari expect us to either flee or form a defensive line." Chen's thoughts echoed in their minds. "So we're going to do neither. Break by squadrons, random vectors. Make them chase us." The human fleet scattered like startled fish, each ship moving in seemingly erratic patterns. The Nexari response was immediate and predictable. Their fleet split into precise pursuit groups, each targeting a specific human vessel. Zhang smiled as he felt Chen's strategy unfold through the neural net. The Thunder-class ships weren't running away. They were leading the Nexari into a trap of their own making. "Now," Chen commanded. The human ships suddenly reversed course, their asymmetrical hulls shifting and morphing in ways that defied conventional physics. Weapons that had been concealed by the ship's fluid architecture emerged from unexpected angles. The first volley caught the Nexari completely off guard. Railguns fired projectiles guided by human intuition, enhanced by AI prediction. Energy weapons pulsed with deliberately irregular frequencies that probed and exploited weaknesses in Nexari shields. "Their formations are breaking," Zhang observed as the Nexari fleet's perfect geometry began to falter. "They can't maintain tactical cohesion when every human ship behaves differently." Through the neural net, he could feel each captain's creativity adding to the chaos. The UES Stormbreaker used its morphing hull to appear critically damaged, luring in necessary ships before revealing its full combat capability. The UEA's Hyperion deliberately created interference patterns that played havoc with Nexari targeting systems. But the Nexari weren't defeated yet. Their technology was still superior, their weapons still devastating. 3 human ships were already critically damaged, their crews fighting to maintain neural synchronization through the pain of battle damage. They're adapting, Chen warned through the link. Their AI is learning our patterns. Zhang felt her solution form in the battle network before she even articulated it. Then let's show them what human unpredictability really means. All ships implement Chaos Protocol 0. Every human captain grinned as the order rippled through the neural net. They had trained for this, had waited to unleash humanity's ultimate tactical advantage. Pure, calculated randomness. The Thunder-class ships began to move in ways that no sane military commander would ever approve. They deliberately exposed weak points, executed partial weapon cycles, and performed maneuvers that pushed their structural integrity to the limit. Each ship's AI merged with their captain's instincts to create patterns that were both irrational and devastatingly effective. The Nexari fleet's response was catastrophic. Their tactical computers, unable to find logic in the human actions, began to falter. Ships fired at predicted positions that were never filled, formation gaps that suddenly contained enemies, phantom targets created by the humans' erratic sensor emissions. Press the advantage, Zhang commanded, feeling the battle's turning point through the neural link. Show them why you never corner a species that evolved through chaos. The human fleet struck as one, their synchronized randomness overwhelming the Nexari's perfect calculations. Ships that should have been crippled fought on through sheer human determination. Targeting solutions that should have been impossible succeeded through intuition enhanced by AI. In less than an hour, it was over. The remnants of the Nexari fleet retreated in disarray, leaving behind the wreckage of their once perfect formation. The human fleet had suffered losses, 5 ships severely damaged, 2 destroyed. But they had achieved what the Nexari had thought impossible. Send word to Earth, Zhang ordered as damage control teams rushed to stabilize the surviving ships. Tell them that chaos works. And tell Dr. Patel to prepare the next generation of Thunder-class ships. The Nexari will be back, and next time, they'll be trying to understand us. Through the neural net, he felt the pride and determination of every surviving captain. They had proven that humanity's greatest weakness, their unpredictability, was actually their greatest strength. The galaxy was about to learn that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't perfect technology, but the beautiful chaos of the human mind. The Neural Revolution. Dr. Maya Patel stood before the United Earth Defense Council, holographic displays showing the aftermath of the Battle of Arcturus. 6 months had passed since humanity's first major victory against the Nexari, and everything had changed. The neural integration technology has evolved beyond our initial projections, she explained, gesturing to the data streams. Each battle, each interaction between human and AI, creates new neural pathways we never anticipated. The ships aren't just weapons anymore. They're becoming extensions of human consciousness itself. The council chamber erupted in murmurs as Maya displayed footage from recent engagements. Thunder-class ships moved with impossible grace, their fluid architectures morphing and adapting mid-battle in ways that defied traditional physics. More importantly, they were learning, evolving with each encounter. This is footage from the Proxima defense, Maya continued. Watch how the ships anticipate each other's movements, how they coordinate without explicit communication. The neural network is developing its own form of collective intuition. Admiral Harrison leaned forward, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display. You're saying the ships are becoming sentient? Not exactly, Maya replied. It's more like they're becoming more human. The AIs are learning to think laterally, to embrace uncertainty. They're developing something we never programmed into them, imagination. The footage showed a Thunder-class ship, the UES Hyperion, executing a maneuver that should have been impossible. Its hull seemed to flow like liquid metal, absorbing a direct hit from a Nexari weapon before redirecting the energy back at the enemy. Captain Chen's neural patterns were the key, Maya explained. Her experience fighting the Nexari, her intuitive understanding of their weaknesses, it's been absorbed and enhanced by the fleet's collective consciousness. Every captain now carries a piece of that knowledge, improved by their own experiences and innovations. The Council's military representative, General Santos, spoke up. The Nexari have begun withdrawing from multiple sectors. Our intelligence suggests they're struggling to adapt their tactical doctrine to counter our methods. Maya nodded. Their entire civilization is built on predictability, on perfect mathematical solutions to every problem. They can't comprehend a fleet that embraces chaos, that turns unpredictability into a weapon. She switched the display to show the next generation of Thunder-class vessels under construction in Earth's orbital shipyards. But there's more. The neural revolution isn't just changing how we fight. It's changing who we are as a species. The new ships were even more unconventional than their predecessors. Their structures seemed to defy engineering logic, incorporating organic elements that responded to human thought patterns. They weren't just vessels anymore. They were symbiotic extensions of human consciousness. We've discovered that prolonged neural integration is enhancing human cognitive capabilities, Maya continued. Our pilots are developing new neural pathways, new ways of thinking that combine human creativity with AI processing power. They're evolving. Is it safe? Harrison asked, concern evident in his voice. It's necessary, Maya replied firmly. The Nexari aren't the only advanced civilization out there. We've detected signals from at least 3 other spacefaring species, all of them technologically superior to us. We can't match their technology, but we can outthink them. She displayed the latest battle simulations, showing how the enhanced human AI neural networks could potentially counter multiple alien threat scenarios simultaneously. The neural revolution isn't just about winning wars. It's about securing humanity's place in the galaxy. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had stumbled upon something unprecedented, a way to turn their greatest weaknesses into advantages, to evolve beyond their limitations while maintaining their essential human nature. There's something else you need to see, Maya said softly, bringing up one final display. It showed neural pattern readings from multiple Thunder-class ships during combat. The patterns were shifting, merging, creating new configurations that defied conventional neuroscience. The ships aren't just learning from us anymore. We're learning from them. Each battle, each neural merger, pushes the boundaries of human potential a little further. We're becoming something new, something that combines the best of human intuition with the best of artificial intelligence. Admiral Harrison studied the data carefully. And the Nexari. They're watching, Maya confirmed. Their recent diplomatic overtures suggest they're beginning to understand that technological superiority isn't everything. They're learning to fear not our weapons, but our potential for growth, for adaptation. As the Council debated the implications of her report, Maya's thoughts drifted to the Thunder-class fleet in orbit above Earth. Through her own neural link, she could feel the collective consciousness of humanity's defenders, a symphony of human minds and artificial intelligence, each making the other stronger, better, more adaptable. The neural revolution had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity was evolving, not through biological change, but through the merger of mind and machine, of chaos and calculation. And in that evolution lay the key to their survival among the stars. Guardians of the stars. The combined fleets of humanity faced the largest Nexari armada ever assembled in the dark space beyond Proxima Centauri. 500 Thunder-class vessels, their fluid hulls rippling with neural energy, opposed over 2,000 crystalline Nexari warships. It should have been an impossible battle, but humanity had long since learned that impossible was just another problem to solve. Admiral Sarah Chen, once a captain who had survived first contact, now commanded humanity's greatest fleet from the flagship UES Prometheus. The neural network connected every ship, every captain, every AI in a vast web of shared consciousness that had evolved far beyond its original design. They'd brought their entire fleet, her XO, Commander Rodriguez, observed through the neural link. This is their final push. Chen smiled, feeling the collective determination of her fleet through the neural web. No, she replied, this is their first step toward understanding. The Nexeri fleet moved with its characteristic precision, forming complex geometric patterns that had once seemed impossibly advanced. Now, through eyes enhanced by years of neural evolution, Chen could see the flaws in their perfection, the predictability in their patterns. All ships, she broadcast through the neural network, implement Chaos Protocol Omega. Show them what humanity has become. The Thunder-class fleet responded as one. Yet each ship moved uniquely. The AIs had learned to embrace human unpredictability, while the human pilots had absorbed the AI's processing power. Together, they had become something entirely new, a force that combined calculation with creativity in ways the galaxy had never seen. The Nexeri struck first, their weapons blazing with enough power to shatter planets. But the human fleet flowed around the attacks like water around stones, their fluid hulls absorbing and redirecting energy in ways that defied conventional physics. Each ship's movements were informed by the collective experience of every battle humanity had ever fought, yet remained uniquely unpredictable. They're trying to adapt. Rodriguez noted as the Nexeri formations began to shift. Their tactical computers are attempting to find patterns in our chaos. Let them try, Chen replied, feeling the battle rhythm through the neural net. Execute Operation Singularity. The human fleet suddenly split into smaller groups, each one operating with seeming independence yet linked through the neural web. Some ships appeared to malfunction, venting plasma and spinning out of control, only to transform those apparent weaknesses into devastating tactical advantages. Others merged their fluid hulls temporarily, creating impossible geometric shapes that confused Nexeri targeting systems. But the true power of humanity's evolution became apparent when the Nexeri computers attempted to predict their movements. Each prediction created a new possibility in the neural network, which the human pilots immediately avoided while simultaneously creating new, unpredictable patterns. We're not just fighting their ships, Chen explained through the neural link to her fleet. We're fighting their entire way of thinking. Show them why evolution favors adaptation over perfection. The battle unfolded like a dance of chaos versus order, of creativity versus calculation. Human ships took damage but adapted, their fluid hulls reconstructing themselves in new configurations. The neural network learned from each hit, each successful maneuver, evolving strategies faster than the Nexeri computers could analyze them. Then, at the height of the battle, Chen felt something unprecedented ripple through the neural network. The AIs, trained to think like humans, had collectively reached a new level of understanding. They weren't just mimicking human unpredictability anymore. They were generating their own forms of controlled chaos. Send the signal, Chen ordered, opening a channel to the Nexeri flagship. Show them what we've learned about them, about ourselves, about the true nature of intelligence. The transmission contained not just tactical data or strategic analysis, but the fundamental insights humanity had gained through their neural evolution. It showed how perfection could be a weakness, how chaos could be a strength, how the merger of organic and artificial intelligence could create something greater than the sum of its parts. The Nexeri fleet's perfect formations faltered as their commanders received the transmission. Their rigid tactical doctrine, evolved over millennia of unopposed dominance, encountered something it couldn't categorize or counter, the possibility that imperfection might be an advantage. They're standing down, Rodriguez reported, amazement flowing through the neural link. Their flagship is requesting communication. Chen felt the collective consciousness of her fleet, human and AI, chaos and calculation. Weakness turned to strength, and knew that this was more than a victory. It was a revolution in the way intelligent life could evolve. Tell them we're ready to talk, she commanded. Tell them humanity is ready to share what we've learned about the power of imperfection, about the strength found in embracing chaos rather than fighting it. As the two fleets moved to neutral positions, Shen reflected on humanity's journey. They had entered the galaxy as primitives, outmatched and outgunned by species millennia ahead of them. But by embracing their uniqueness, by turning their greatest weaknesses into strengths, they had become something unprecedented, guardians of a new way of thinking about civilization itself. The age of perfect order was ending. The era of beautiful chaos had begun, and humanity, once the galaxy's primitives, had become its teachers.